In this video, I will show you how you can create a looping GIF like this one. What you see here is a regular image that is transformed into a new form. I've made a program in C# that I used to make these, and you can find a link to it in the description. I was inspired to make this by a video by Matt Parker on YouTube, and I will also leave a link to that. The core concept of this program is that it sees every pixel as a complex, and it uses a mathematical expression to map each pixel into a new picture. And as you see, this gives a lot of possibilities. So let's try to make the endless spiral from the beginning. First, we enter the mathematical expression we want to use, and we load an image. When we press calculate, we see the spiral already. You can try to select a more interesting image here, and you see that it works as before. You can set the output size, and you can save the image as a still image. Now let's see how this expression works. By writing x, we get a one-to-one mapping of the image, and by adding 1, we see it moving. And if we multiply it by 2, it gets smaller. And this happens because the expression works in reverse. And now let's take a look at a more interesting effect. By writing this, we actually take e to the power of x, and this makes the effect of kind of unfolding the image. As you see to the left here, we see the center of the image, and the spikes on the right are the 4 corners of the image. So this is a nice effect, and we can undo it kind of by using the logarithm, and we get back the image that we started with. And this is where the trick happens, because we can use different transformations when we are in the unfolded part, and that's what we're going to do now. So for example, we can copy the image using the modulus operator and use a spacing of 1.1. And we also can add a number just to get everything aligned correctly, and we see a repeating pattern. So if we use the logarithm again, we already are getting closer to the end result. The final thing we need to do is to apply the skew function to get the spiral. So we are using the same skewing amount as we used before, 1.1. And when we now use the logarithm, we get the spiral. So that's how it works. Let's take a look at some other transformations. This xmod function is a special function because it interacts with this polygon that we can define here. If we now try to align this polygon with the inner part of the picture frame, like this, and we press calculate, we see that xmod takes the polygon into account and makes the transition between the images match with the frame, like this. When we have a working expression, there's also a lot of adjustment we can use. For example, by adding 1 here, we see that we are zooming into the image. And this is also how the GIF is created, but instead of using a 1 here, we insert this character. And this is used by the GIF section on the right here to change and replace it by a number for each image frame. So it starts on the start value of minus pi, and it moves gradually to the end value of plus pi. And these numbers are selected because the pixels are placed on a coordinate system that goes from minus pi to plus pi on the x and y axis. So that's why the numbers are used like that. The duration is probably fine, 2 seconds, but we can change the frames per second to be 30. So now we can just press create GIF and give it a name and wait for it to be generated. We can open the file, and there we see that it's working. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed.